Hello guys, Crispy, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be retesting the GTX 750 Ti, this time in the Ryzen 7 PC, Ryzen 7 3700X with 16 gigs of RAM. Of course, overkill specs for this GPU, but I also tested it with an i5 4460 and 8 gigs of RAM, and it was a complete stuttery mess, so I'm going to be retesting the GPU just to test the GPU itself in Red Dead Redemption 2. So our 750 Ti here is a stock version of the card. I overclocked it a little bit, plus 150 on the core, plus 300 on the memory. As you can see, it runs at 1326 megahertz on the core over here in the graph in MSI Afterburner. And let's get into it. We're going to be playing at 1080p, 900p and 720p again with the lowest settings, of course. And I'm going to be setting the texture quality to medium every time we can do it. We can't really do it at 1080p because the VRAM limitations, you know. The game actually thinks we have 1.6 gigabytes of VRAM, but we actually do have 2 gigabytes of VRAM in this GPU, but it's just a game bug for now, you know. 1080p, lowest settings of the game, as you can see here. These are the minimum settings. We're actually running the Vulkan API because it does give you like 1 or 2 more FPS. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. And as you can see, guys, we're in a much more beautiful area of the map as well, and we're getting like 20-ish, like in a low to mid 20s FPS, running around the woods here, which is pretty demanding for the GTX 750 Ti and for pretty much every GPU out there, like the leaves and stuff, foliage, lots of shadows. It's pretty demanding, you know. Where the heck is Roach? Roach, come over here. Why don't you come over here when I whistle to you? Spinning around, and now he's running away from me. Come over here, Roach. What the heck's wrong with you? Okay, so as you can see, guys, our VRAM usage actually maxed out at 2 gigabytes right now. Our RAM usage is actually at 8 gigabytes. That's why we were stuttering, probably. Not really sure about that though, because Steve from Gamers Nexus actually found out that the game stutters on quad cores sometimes, but that was using a 2080 Ti, and of course, there's a huge CPU bottleneck right there. If you don't bottleneck the CPU, you might not be seeing those stutters, but those were awfully close to what I was seeing in the low-end PC test, so keep that in mind. You know, I'm not really sure if that's the VRAM, the RAM limitations on that PC, or the CPU itself, but it's just the fact that it was running awfully on that computer. Of course, I could probably, and I will probably test that computer again with 16 gigs of RAM just to remove the RAM possibility of being a problem, you know, in that PC, so we can actually isolate the problem to either the VRAM, the hard drive, or the CPU. But yeah, that will have to come like next week, I think. Not really sure when I can do it because I don't really have 16 gigabytes of DDR3 memory on hand, so I can't really test it right away. So that will have to wait, but I'll do it eventually, okay? So as you can see, guys, the game is not stuttering whatsoever, so the 750 Ti was definitely not the problem there. And what the heck's going on, Ryle? Oh, come on! Oh my god, let's go after him. You know what, guys? It's actually playable if you don't mind sub 25 FPS, I guess. But I wouldn't really recommend it to you. Oh, come on. No, I'm missing everything. Okay, so maybe not that playable. I missed way too much there with the 750 Ti, friends. So yeah, that said, I think that's it of 1080p, you know, it's enough. What the heck's that girl streaming? It's screaming a lot. Okay, let's put it at 900p, see our FPS at this resolution. And can we actually increase the texture? Nope, not even at 900p, maybe only at 720p. So let's do this, apply that. Okay, 900p, lowest settings, as you can see. And the thing with the textures, guys, is if you have been watching my videos, it looks pretty bad. Look at that, low settings textures. It's not because it's at 900p, at 1080p it was just the same. And I'm just gonna loot this guy real quickly here. Thank you very much, buddy, for the $2.47. Kentucky bourbon, that's pretty good. Let's remove this stranger from here. Is this the same one that we saved in the previous video? I think like the 780. I think it is. Yep. Yep, she also said the same thing in that video. What if I do leave you there? Oh boy, let's save her again, okay? Come over here, boy. Oh my god, you're the most lazy horse I've ever seen in my life. You just don't want to do a thing, you know? When people call you, it's supposed for you to go, okay? People are expecting you to come to them. So guys, 900p actually runs pretty well, as you can see. It still drops from 30 FPS into the high 20s, especially here in this tree area, forest area. Yep, that's like, yeah, it's a forest area, it's not a tree area. So yeah, around 30 FPS is what you should expect with the GTX 750 Ti. Just like we've seen in my previous video in the low-end PC. Aside from the stutters, we were after all getting like 30 FPS at this resolution and these same settings. So it's playable, I would say. If you have a controller, even better, because those drops from 30 FPS will even be less noticeable. But you know what, guys, a game like this, it looks great, aside from the textures, of course, and I think it's perfectly playable with 30 FPS because after all it's a single player game. And as I told you in the previous 2 videos or so, GTA San Andreas, for example, in the PS2, oh, Roach, please, oh my Jesus Christ, Roach, what the heck are you doing? Why do you always do this to me every single time, every single video, dude? Please, are you kidding me, Roach? Can you please cooperate with me in my videos? Come on, let's go, let's get out of here. Oh my god, please don't fall off again. Okay, so we're seeing our FPS in the mid-20s right now, 25, 26. That's not very play. Oh, why did I do that? Oh my god, Roach! Are you okay? Are you okay? Nope, he's injured. Let's revive him. Oh my god. See what you do, Roach? You can't do that. Alright, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I seem to have like infinite horse like cures for you, you know? Wait, what? Where are you? Can I get my... Okay, let's get this. Come on, just hit those shots. We just need to hit those shots and we'll be fine, I guess. Oh no, there was another one in that horse. As I was trying to tell you, GTA San Andreas in the PS2 actually run at 25 FPS locked. It's not like dropping to 25. Sometimes it's like 25 FPS locked, okay? So yeah, that game was actually playable at those FPS. I think this game is actually playable at anything like 27 plus FPS. 30 FPS with some drops to the high 20s isn't anything to worry about in this game, I would say. Perfectly playable over here. Of course, you will need that controller for the aim assist. It will come in handy, for example, right there where we were right now. But yeah, that's enough of 900p. Let's put it at 720p. See how many FPS we can get at that resolution. So 720p, texture quality, we can put that on medium, so I'm just gonna restart the game real quick. Alright guys, we're back here at 720p medium settings, settings textures, not medium settings, okay? So yeah, medium textures, everything else is still on the lowest settings, and I'm not gonna be testing medium settings in this video. So yeah, okay, I don't feel like it's worth it. The FPS drop, it will drop from 30. As you can see, we're already in the 30s at 720p. So Roach, where the heck are you? Come over here, boy. You can see, guys, the game looks a little bit better now because of the textures. It still looks a little bit bad, the textures, you know, look at the ground, for example, but at least it looks way better than low settings. Low settings textures, I don't know why, but they do look quite bad, like really bad. I haven't seen textures like that in a long time, even in like lower end games, you know. As you can see there, we actually dropped into the 30s, like mid 30s at low settings with medium textures. Medium textures don't actually impact your FPS. You'd get the same FPS with like low textures. Textures only impact your FPS by 1 or 2 FPS, and that's the difference between low settings textures and ultra settings textures. So keep that in mind. It's not really a performance hog at all, and if you don't have enough VRAM to run them, you actually get a little bit of stuttering. So that's why the game doesn't really allow you to put it at higher resolution textures. At 1080p, for example, let's just get away from here. You know, that was probably a bad idea, Roach, right? Wasn't it? Let's just get out here. Okay, we're good. So if you want to experience the game at 720p with like a little bit of a better FPS, better smoothness experience, you know, just do so. You can do so here with the GTX 750 Ti. Of course, you'll still be dropping into the mid 30s sometimes, even on low settings, as you can see here, especially where there are a ton of trees around you. But you know what? Overall, the performance is fine. The game looks fine. It doesn't really look good for me because I'm running it on a 1440p monitor at 27 inches, you know. So 720p stretched out through 27 inches doesn't look very good. But if you have like a smaller monitor, 1080p, 21.5 inches or 22 inches, you should be fine playing at 720p. And as you can see, guys, it's mostly around 38 to 40 FPS, and the minimum we've seen so far was like 35, I think. So it's not bad at all. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go ahead and increase the anti-aliasing a little bit here, because I feel like that does make the game look a lot better, and enable it over here. Okay, alright, so we're at 720p still, now with a little bit of anti-aliasing enabled. As you can see, the jaggies are much less noticeable. Actually, you don't see jaggies in a lot of the things, especially like in the grass and stuff like that. At the distance, for example, those things you can actually see some jaggies on, and in your character, like moving things, will actually show some jaggies still with this implementation of anti-aliasing. But overall, I think the game looks way better like this, and you don't lose a ton of performance because this implementation of AA is actually pretty damn decent and efficient. As you can see, we're still running around like 40 FPS. So yeah, I'd probably play at 720p with anti-aliasing with medium settings enabled. Actually, I'm just gonna set the slider there, the anti-aliasing slider, to the maximum to see if that makes a bigger difference. Even our FPS should be fine anyways, so yep. Don't think so. Okay, that didn't really do anything special here, so it's pretty much the same. Jaggies all over your character and horse and gun. Let's try to headshot the guy. Nope, didn't really work, but I got him. Okay guys, so I think that's it. Performance on the 750 Ti is pretty damn good. You can play the game at 900p and 720p just very well, you know. I'd probably play at 720p just to have those 30 plus FPS all of the time, and turn on anti-aliasing, medium textures of course, which are only enabled at 720p, so that's good as well. And guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful for you and informative, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I have a ton of more GPUs to test, so keep tuned into the channel to watch all of that. God damn it, of course. Don't ride your horse while looking back at some things. I don't know what they're doing, but they seem to be robbing those stuffs there, so. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching again. I'll see you in the next one. I love you all. Bye bye.